something, I feel like nothing. Always feel like I'm running. Both feel we're living worlds apart. It's fucked now, we lost in limbo. Remembering what you said though, when I asked you if we'd make it far. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said no, 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 no. No, 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 you should. I've earned the cost and now I've paid it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, please don't go. I know my face a memory erasing. Been a few years since I heard your voice, yeah. Lost a few here, but it's not by choice, no. Girl, I see your face every day when I look through my phone. Can't delete all these memories, won't leave me alone. Hit my blind side, never saw you coming. You were so wild, both know I was nothing. And I'm nothing now, nothing's changed, you know I'm just the same. Miss you now, but I hope that someday you explain. I one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. Trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Today is October 13th, Friday the 13th, 2023, 7:29 p.m. on the East Coast. Thank you all for joining me. You could have chosen to be anywhere, but you chose to be here, and I'm thankful for that. It's good to see you all in chat. Oh, that's sweet song. Yeah, I love that song. I love that song as well. Um, the intro, I for I'm really bad about it's it's down in the description, I believe. And I know um some people probably know it in here. I think it's by RZEN or something like that. Hi, Smiley. Good to see you. I'm actually going to use one of your videos if you don't mind. Memories erased. There we go. Yes. All right. It's so good to see you all in chat. Happy Friday. We made it to the weekend once again. Once again. So we're going to do a few different things today. One, we're going to finish the video of Chris McDonough from the interview room. Um, guys know how I have been talking the last few lives about I believe personally that H and Candace had to have planned the watering hole. Specifically, if Candace put that bathing suit on Summer at 7:30 in the morning. Now, we're going to go over the timeline. I also did a map from what Candace says happened that day from her house at 7:30 in the morning to the hospital, to H's house, back to the hospital, to Walgreens, and so on and so forth. And we're going to review that along with the timeline. However, Smiley dropped a video, and I haven't seen many people discuss it. And I think personally, I think it has a lot of validity. Um, and I want to show it to you guys. Please drop Smiley's world. Link is in the description for every creator that I play today, by the way. So I want, and it's called Summer Wasn't There. It's under her videos. Okay. And we need to talk about this. Thank you so much, Trina. It's very kind of you. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming in. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. I would really, really appreciate it. All right. So we're going to talk about this. Listen carefully. And this shows you how even over 2 years later, we learn something new still yet to this day. You can hear it differently, specifically going back on the original interviews, uh, news clips, all of that, because the memories are fresh, that they didn't have time to change anybody their stories or anything like that. So it's very important that we always go back to the beginning. All right. Without further ado, let's get started. Let me know if y'all can hear this, please.
It makes no sense.
Okay, and I think Smiley clipped this from someone on TikTok called the TC guy. So, could y'all hear that? Okay, yes. All right, here we go.
The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
From your perspective?
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your perspective and your property living up there as long as you have, Candace, right? What are the odds that that happened? Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay. What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, she disappears.
I don't know what else to say.
What,
I feel like everybody is against me.
it's all right. You want
I can't even tell you. I know I went to the hospital at 8 with my mom, dropped her off, and I was sitting there, and Hunter called.
That's the first one. I know I dropped my mom off at the hospital. I dropped my mom off at the hospital. I was sitting there. I was sitting there, not Summer and I was sitting there. I was sitting there. I dropped my mom off at the hospital. Not Summer and I dropped my mom off at the hospital, and Summer and I was sitting there. I dropped mom off. I was sitting there. First one.
Called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital in the parking lot waiting on my mom to get done.
So
I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for my mom to get done. Okay? Not only does Candace say this, Hunter spits it out too. I'm going to play this all in one go. After this, I'm just trying to explain these to you first.
She's here. Grandma's at the hospital. And who's with her that
Just
day?
Summer.
Just Summer. Okay.
Not the entire day until we pick up the grandma.
Okay, what time?
Who's with her? Just Summer. Not the entire day. Just until we pick up the grandma. Not the entire day. How could she not be with you the entire day, Candace? Huh? You was supposed to leave with her at 7:30. You was supposed to leave with her till 7:30. This is why I honestly think H was scared to really come fully clean, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong. But I'll tell you why in a minute.
Time do you remember? I know you're not good at times. So then what happened?
And then, like I said, after we went inside, talked about it. And then she said, "You want to go fishing summer?" I said, "Do you care if I come with?" Because it's summer. And I treated her like a little sister.
Right.
And she said, "You got to ask Alec."
And you thought it'd be cool to go with her?
Yeah.
Do I have that accurate?
That's pretty accurate.
Okay. So she's here, Summer's here, Candace is here. You get permission to go fishing because Summer's going fishing. And you were kind of acting like a big brother. And you thought it'd be cool to go with her.
Yeah.
Do I have that accurate?
That's pretty accurate.
How was Summer acting toward about going fishing?
Well, she gets excited because she likes to fish and swim. She's a little kid. She's energetic.
Okay.
Park, like water park.
Okay. So that was the initial thought?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know.
So what did you think was going to happen?
I thought we were just all going to go fishing, swimming.
And then in the truck, she changes the plan?
Nah, she changes it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
She changed, and I talked about this last night. She changed it to swimming after she picked up the grandmother. What does grandmother have anything to do with fishing or swimming? Why would Grandis, what effects would Grandis have whether they fished or they swam? Grandis is supposed to be in the ER. She doesn't care. She probably didn't feel like doing either one of them. I want to know, where was Summer? H just said she wasn't there the entire time, just until we picked up the grandmother. But Chris says, so Candace and Summer is here. And he's like, yeah. So which is it? It can't be both. Like, how can she not be there the entire time? She was supposed to have left with Grandis and Candace at 7:30 in the morning. The only way that it is possible is if Candace, while she dropped off her mom and picked up H, she either had to go back to Ben Hill Road and get Summer, or Dawn meet her. Something is very off, because at this point it's in the morning time, right? This is morning time. There should not be any inconsistencies. This is hours before she is supposed to have, what her parents say, abducted, even though there is no evidence of that. So let's continue.
Say it again.
She changed it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Oh,
But then we went to the Walgreens and dropped off mom's prescription. I said, well, if we got to wait 30 minutes, why don't we just bring Summer down here and let her play for a little bit?
okay.
And
Now that's what I was talking. That's a part that I've been talking about the last 2 or 3 days. That's when Candace says, well, since we got to wait on the prescription, why don't we just go down here and let Summer play a little bit? Well, you were already going swimming or fishing, because you said you put her in a bathing suit at 7:30 in the morning. It was going to be a hot day. H says she was changed at Allie's and his house, right? Their house. So at the very minimum, you guys had to plan it while you was picking H up. I think you had planned it the night before if you put her in a bathing suit before you left. The problem is H says she wasn't with us the entire day, just until we picked up the grandmother.
Okay.
Pick up her mother.
Pick up grandma.
Not even like 10 minutes later,
Okay.
we go to.
So from here, where do you guys go?
From here, we go to the hospital.
Okay.
Pick up her mother.
Pick up grandma.
Not even like 10 minutes later,
Okay.
we go to Walgreens.
Is that near the hospital?
No, it's on Fort Henry Drive.
Okay, so it's the Walgreens by the Warrior Park.
Yeah.
That one as you come out, and it's right there.
Yes.
Okay, not bad for an old.
It's, so we went there.
You go there first,
And then,
after you pick up grandma.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
And then we put this prescription in.
Okay.
Which is like probably about like 10, 15 minutes.
Do you know what kind of drugs?
And then we handed the prescription. They said about like 10, 15. Well, it's going to be 30 to 35 minutes.
Okay.
Well, I was saying the line was long.
Okay.
Because you have
who went inside the store?
Nobody went in. We went through the drive-thru.
Got it.
It's just.
Okay. Now I'm going to play it all the way through without interrupting. That way you guys can listen to it fully. And please go listen to it on Smiley's World channel as well. It's under videos.
it makes no sense. The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
From your perspective?
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your perspective, and your property living up there as long as you have, Candace, right? What are the odds that that happened? Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay. What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, she disappears.
I don't know what else to say.
What?
I feel like everybody is against me.
It's all right. You want
I didn't even tell you. I know I went to the hospital at 8 with my mom, dropped her off, and I was sitting there, and Hunter called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital in the parking lot waiting on my mom to get done.
to? She's here. Grandma's at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And who's with her that
Just
day?
summer.
Just Summer.
Not
Okay.
the entire day until we pick up the grandma.
Okay. What time do you remember? I know you're not good at times. So then what happened?
And then, like I said, dapped up. We went inside, talked about it. And then she said, "You want to go fishing summer?" I said, "Do you care if I come with because it's summer?" And I treated her like a little sister.
Right.
And she said, "You got to ask Alec."
And you thought it'd be cool to go with her.
Yeah.
Do I have that accurate?
That's pretty accurate.
Okay. So she's here. Summer's here. Candace is here. You get permission to go fishing because Summer's going fishing. And you were kind of acting like a big brother. And you thought it'd be cool to go with her.
Yeah.
Do I have that accurate?
That's pretty accurate.
Oh, how was Summer acting toward about going fishing? Was
Well, she gets excited because she likes to fish and swim. She's a little kid. She's energetic.
okay?
Park, like water park.
Okay. So that was the initial thought.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know.
So what did you think was going to happen?
I thought we were just all gonna go fishing, swimming.
And then in the truck, she changes the plan.
Nah, she changes it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Say it again.
She changed it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Oh,
But then we went to the Walgreens and dropped off Mom's prescription. I said, well, if we got to wait 30 minutes, why don't we just bring Summer down here and let her play for a little bit?
okay.
And
Okay.
Pick up her mother.
Pick up Grandma.
Not even like 10 minutes later,
Okay.
we go to.
So from here, where do you guys go?
From here, we go to the hospital.
Okay.
Pick up her mother.
Pick up Grandma.
Not even like 10 minutes later,
Okay.
we go to Walgreens.
Is that near the hospital?
No, it's on Fort Henry Drive.
Okay, so it's the Walgreens by the Warrior Park.
Yeah,
That one as you come out and it's right there.
yes.
Okay, not bad for an old.
It's, so we went there,
You go there first
and then
after you pick up Grandma.
yeah,
Then what happened?
and then we put this prescription in,
Okay.
which is like probably about like 10, 15 minutes.
Do you know what kind of drugs?
And then we handed a prescription. They said about like 10, 15. Well, it's gonna be 30 to 35 minutes.
Okay.
Well, I was saying the line was long
Okay.
because you have
Who went inside the store?
nobody went in. We went through the drive-thru.
Got it.
The drive-thru, and then while we were in the drive-thru,
Actually, I'm glad you called.
Yeah, I bet you is.
So and I was muted. Sorry. I do that every live. So what I was saying is if Candace, if H said that Summer wasn't with them the entire time, his words, not mine, where was Summer? He said she wasn't with us the entire time until we picked up the grandmother. What does that mean? Where was she? And if she wasn't, meaning Summer, with them the entire time until they picked up the grandmother, his words, not mine, why would Candace be alone with H? Hmm? Why, after 2 years, can't the parents of Summer Moon Utah Wells, specifically Candace, speak out on what happened on June 15th, 2021? Because where there is secrets, there is deception. To get it on with, yeah. And there's that bag with the picnic thing. Now, we need to look at this. Now, remember, 7:30 in the morning. Let me make this bigger for y'all. 7:30 in the morning, Candace says they left for Jonesboro. Per Candace Bly Wells, her and Summer Wells went to Holston Valley Medical Center with Kingsport with Grandis and dropped her off. While sitting in the hospital parking lot waiting for Grandis to get done, H called her and invites her over. She told him as long as his mom says it's okay, right? So then between 8 and 10 a.m., per H, he says that Candace, his side of the story, he says that Candace texted him saying that Grandis was in the hospital. When asked to show messages, H stated that the TBI still had his phone and he is using his deceased grandfather's phone in the meantime. He called her up and invited her over while she was waiting. Candace told him to ask his mom, which she said yes for a little bit because H's grandmother was on her way. Candace said she would be over in 5 to 10 minutes. Now at 10 o'clock, H says Candace arrives at his home, Allie's home, with Summer. But actually he had to have been around 11 o'clock, right? Or 10, or I think it was at least 10 because I was up all night. Okay. H says that Summer changes into a bathing suit. He goes with Candace and Summer to pick up Grandis. But what I don't have in this timeline is what I just showed you, which is Summer wasn't with us until she wasn't with us all day until we picked up Grandma. I agree with that, Kim G. I agree. Um, so there's that. Now, I would like to know how long Candace was actually waiting in that parking lot, because I actually don't think she waited long. And her words, she doesn't say I and Summer took Grandis to the hospital. She says I took, Mom to the hospital. And then she said she went over to H's house, not Summer and I. Right? Yes, we are. I want the 911 calls released, the interrogation. Trust me, I do too. I've talked to TBI about them and everything. I've tried to do everything to get. So I would really, it's very interesting how, what happened between 8 and 10, 8 and 11 o'clock. Because if Summer, sometimes I think Don may have went or was going to work later, and maybe he was going to take the boys with him. And he dropped off Summer, met him at the hospital maybe on his way to Jonesboro. Is that a possibility? Don't know. Just dropped off Summer. But then I think about the boys. Were they planning on swimming? But something is wrong here, clearly. People who have nothing to hide nothing at all. They hide nothing. Let's see if I can find this. All right. And we know that at 12:21, they had already been to that pharmacy, Walgreens. There is a reason, in my opinion, that they chose that specific pharmacy, because they were going to the horse stables, lake, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't because they were waiting for a prescription. It couldn't have been, even though Candace says that, because H says they're planning it while, Candace comes over to his house. Now, Candace says Summer had a bathing suit on at 7:30 in the morning under her clothes. And when Dawn comes around the curve, he says, hold on, I'm talking about there. All right, we'll listen to it again. Here we go.
It makes no sense. The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
What are the odds of that
What are the odds of that?
from your perspective?
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your perspective and your property living up there as long as you have, Candace, right? What are the odds that that happened? Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay. What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, she disappears.
I don't know what else to say.
What,
I feel like everybody is against me.
it's all right. You want
I can't even tell you. I know I went to the hospital at 8 with my mom.
I knew I went to the hospital at 8 with my mom. Not Summer and I.
Dropped her off. And I was sitting there, and Hunter called me.
I dropped her off. And I was sitting there. I was sitting there, not Summer and I, meaning Candace alone.
And asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital in the parking lot waiting on my mom to get done.
So
she triples down on that. I was sitting in the car in the parking lot waiting for my mom to get done. Not Summer and I. Okay. Now, this is interesting. And where one person can make like a little mistake, with how they speak, especially Appalachian dialect. We kind of talk a little different sometimes. But H, he reaffirms this right up here.
she's here. Grandma's at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And who's with her that
Just
day?
Summer.
Just Summer. Okay.
Not the entire day until we pick up the grandma.
Okay.
Who is with her the entire day? Just Summer, he says. Then he says, not the entire day, just until we pick up Grandma. How is that possible? Obviously, Summer couldn't have went into the emergency room with Grandis. So what does that mean? Just until we pick up Grandma. So you've got Candace saying, it's just my mom and myself at the hospital. I drive her. I drop her off. I sit in the parking lot. Right? Then we have H saying, Summer was with us that day, but not until we pick up the grandma. Lots of red flags here. No we. No we. And if Summer, the reason we are talking about this entire situation is because obviously Summer Moon Utah Wells is missing. So you would think, she would say, Summer and I dropped off Grandma. Summer and I sat in the parking lot. H called and said, we said, oh, not doing much. But Summer and I are sitting in the parking lot waiting for my mom to get done. But she doesn't say any of that. She had multiple times where she could have inserted Summer's name and didn't. That is a ginormous red flag. And the TC guy on TikTok, it's on Smiley's channel, but found this, and so that's how we all can work so much better together. H could have left an S at the watering hole and got Grandis. Candace could have left H and S at the watering hole and got Grandis. No, I don't think so, because he says we don't, I don't think that would have worked. No. But, it's just like I was discussing the other day about there is discrepancy between when they decided to go swimming. For a long time, we thought they decided to go swimming because they were waiting on a prescription. Everyone thought it was odd. And in life, there is a rhythm, there's a natural order to most things. There's a rhythm to a lot of the decisions we make. And it's not really natural for us as human beings to go swimming while we're waiting on a prescription. It's not a natural order, right? Swimming is something that is you take leisurely time with, you're not waiting for something. You set time aside and you go swimming, not while you're waiting on a prescription. So I was thinking about that. And then I was thinking about, oh, well, H said that Summer had changed at his house into a bathing suit. But Candace said that never happened. Candace said she put the bathing suit on Summer before she left. So there's a lot of discrepancies. We've even heard, hold on one second. Candace. Okay, sorry. So which one was it? Because if Candace put the bathing suit on in the morning like she says, well, the entire horse pond, stable, whatever, had to be pre-planned. And I think the order of that, I think it had to be pre-planned at least between H and Candace, because not only about how she dressed, where she dressed Summer, and the discrepancies between changing her at the house, changing her at H's house, but because of the location where they got the prescription filled. Because literally, you go outside of the state park, you have to go through a stoplight, a four-way intersection. On the other side of that intersection, that stoplight, that's where the Walgreens is. There is plenty of pharmacies way before that. You could have got it filled. There's a Walgreens even in the hospital. Right? So, H's father said H got his phone back. That's interesting. And I'll tell you why I personally believe they kept H's phone longer. Because I think perhaps that day people's phones could have been turned on and off at specific times if it was pre-planned, if it was pre-planned. If it and H's phone would have told us a story about where he was, what time they were there, and so on and so forth. It would have told a story. Agree, Justin. I've always felt she had plans for her own self and H and neglected baby girl. Yes. Now, PG said something very interesting last night, and I'd never I want to actually talk to her about it, but she was saying privately Dawn had expressed a lot of anger toward H. And Don has always he's never, he's always said publicly that H is a good, kid. He, blah 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 and so forth. But she said privately it was different. And I would like to know a little more about that. I may, if she's, well, she won't be live tonight because tonight's the Sabbath for her. I might call her or something, but I would like to know more about that. Because if this was pre-planned, right? I don't see Candace ever being concerned about her mom's knee. A lot of us have said that. And that makes me wonder, did she volunteer to take Grandis that morning? And let's say, for instance, Summer wasn't with them, with her and Grandis, which the way Candace talks, she says, Mom and I was sitting in the parking lot. That just reconfirms my theory all of this theory that we're talking about now, the one we're seeing here on the video, the one that I've been, talking about with um the bathing suit and the trip. If Summer wasn't with them early that morning, then it just lets me know that she had an appointment, uh, something. They had to have texted the night before to meet up June 15th. Had to have. And that's why there would be discrepancies on where Summer was, where the bathing suit was put on her. When they decided to go to the pharmacy, or not the pharmacy, the swimming or fishing. Remember, it was fishing and then it was swimming. And then H says, well, we decided to go swimming once we picked up the grandmother. That doesn't make sense. I mean, I can tell you, Grandis would rather fish any day than swim, because we know that she likes to fish. I think it was the meeting, the get together, or whatever was planned the night before. Who is to say they both drove their own vehicles? It's possible. Yeah, I agree with that. True crime jumping. I mean, if they passed their polygraph, I don't think they would be cleared, but I think that they would say, I don't know. I really don't know. But they would certainly have shown their stuff. She did say Don was very angry concerning H. Yes, maybe just a way to get selling H alone. Let's see here. Probably Don B. Hello, good to see you, by the way. Those boys at home, I guarantee, had zero way to contact anyone in an emergency. I don't know why. If CPS was there the 14th, regardless whether they closed the case or not, which I don't think that they closed the case, my opinion, Don and Candace says they did. But regardless, even if they closed the case, I can't imagine them leaving them alone, the three boys alone. Now, remember, Fred said he saw Dawn and the boys going up in the driveway 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay. That's interesting. Now, remember Dawn slip-ups, which I told you guys and showed you guys the other day, the creator that clipped them all together, which was brilliant. He says, we pulled up into this, to the shed I pulled up into the shed. And then he says, no, they weren't. He's talking about the church people. I was home all day. Or he's like, I was home. And then he goes, I wasn't home, you know. So if you guys can remember all of that. Ted Bundy passed 12 times. Well, I know personally that Candace can look at you and lie. And because about the Jose thing where she said, oh, Justin probably paid someone to come up to be Jose. And then it was after she had already said it was Jose. Andrew said it was Jose. Allie said it was Jose. Everyone said it was Jose, even his kids and everything else. But then Candace was sitting there and looking at the camera. She said, oh, we probably paid someone. And then, don't even take my word for it. Look at the way she told uh, Chris McDonough from the interview room down by the lake there. She said that who was the alcohol for, and Candace says, oh, that was for me, and if my mom was here, she would tell you the exact same thing. God is my witness kind of thing. Looked at Chris right there and lied. We know that is a total lie. It bothers me that during Grandis's interview, she said Summer went swimming at Warriors. She said, I believe, like she wasn't sure, which leads me to believe she wasn't there picking flowers. Um, I don't know. They all lie about, they all get caught in their story. Every single one of them, have inconsistencies in their story, but yet they all stick to the same story at the same time. So where they mess up is where we have to compare the stories, right? And the inconsistencies therein, and try to find out the truth. And we're still learning over 2 years later. You know what I mean? Is PG in here? I saw someone say PG. Okay. All right. We're going to do that interview and stuff, but I want to, let me see if I can find it. So I did kind of a map today, if you will, sorta. All right. So this, put this down here. Let me pop this down 1 second, y'all. This is what Candace and them says happened. This is the way they said it happened that day. Justin, do you know if Hippie Store had cameras? Yes, they do have cameras. They sure do. But they don't have, I don't know if they have cameras outside. I couldn't remember that. I know they have it inside. So point eight, they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stops they allege happened on June 15th. Okay, hi PG. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up. Please, please, please. All right. 110 Ben Hill Road is right here. This is where they started, right? Then they say they go, Candace drives to the hospital, which is point B. Then Candace drives to, well, let me just show you this. All right. So a total 12 stops that day. If you drove all of these in order like that, she did from her house, all the trips, back and forth, grocery stores and everything, and then back to Ben Hill Road. It would be, what was it? I think it was an hour and 43 minutes of driving that day. All right. So from 110 Ben Hill to the hospital, it's 14.93 miles. And it's 26 minutes from 110 to the hospital, right? All right. And then from the hospital to Allie's house takes about 7 minutes. So then from Allie's house back to the hospital, that's another 7 minutes. And, Candace said after she talked to H, she said she would be there in 5 or 10 minutes. And that's about right. But I really want to know what happened from 8 till 10, 8 till 11 o'clock, because that's like 2 to 3 hours. I don't see Candace sitting in that parking lot for 2 to 3 hours. I don't see it happening. And I certainly don't see Candace sitting in the parking lot with a 5-year-old just sitting there. When you have kids, they don't like to sit in the same spot for 2 or 3 hours. You take them, you do something with them. You take them to, a playground or whatever. So that's just me. But anyway, I digress. Okay. So from the hospital, they go to Allie's house, back to the hospital. Then they go from the hospital to Walgreens is 5.9 miles, and it's 13 minutes from Allie's house. I've driven it to the Walgreens. That's right in front of Warriors Path entrance. You're looking at nearly 6 miles, 13 minutes. Then from Walgreens, where they say it's going to take 30 some minutes. Hold on, I got a frog in my throat. 1 second. All right. So this is what I see. You're welcome, Trina. And from Walgreens, they say they go, that's when Candace gets the beer. I just put vape/beer because they go to another place. This is where she gets H's alcohol, an adult getting a minor alcohol. Okay, but I digress. All right. And so which is from the Walgreens to that place, it's about 3.28 miles, 6 minutes. Now, from 1 second. From the beer place, I'll just call it the beer place, to the horse stable / where they were swimming, right? That's when they got there, and she gave H the twisted tea. That's another 6 minutes from the alcohol place, we'll just say, to the horse stable. And then at the horse stable / swimming hole, they go, where do they go? 34. Okay. They go, once they leave there, they go to the hippie house, right? The hippie house. And that's the one with the tie-dye building. 1 second, y'all. All right. So from the horse stable swimming hole, when they leave there, they go to the hippie house, and then they go to Walgreens to pick up the prescription. From Walgreens, they go to Sonic, which is literally just right across the street, more or less. And then from Sonic, they go to Priceless, which is the grocery store where they supposedly, H and Summer, sat about an hour. H says maybe even longer. Candace says 5 or 10 minutes. And sat in the parking lot at Priceless. And then from Priceless, they go back to Allie's house. Allie's and H's house. Right? And then they drop H off, right? And they go to home, which is where they say, all of everything happened, right? Smiley only one with a wrench. Okay, that's fine. No worries. Trolls don't bother me. I don't even pay attention to them. You can block them if you don't like them as well. So, yeah, I see you should be here too. Hold on. Let me check something. Okay. All right. There we go. Now, let's go over this. We're going to finish what we started yesterday from Chris from the interview room. And we have learned you can block them, yeah, on your end. Absolutely. Yeah, okay. All right. So we have learned a lot in the last 3 or 4 days about the timeline. I think in my mind we've learned a lot, or suspected a lot anyways.
We could have been, that could have all took 35 minutes or more.
Okay. And then what happened when you, did somebody go?
No, it's something that she just got into.
Got it.
Because she was scrolling through that. I told you Miss Johnny May was fixing to leave. All right, now
Miss Johnny May's over there.
let us talk.
So she likes these?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're in the CBD store. How long were they in there?
Like 5 minutes tops.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then she came out with 2 babes. She came out with hers and then another one she gave me.
She gave you one.
Mm-hmm.
Another one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what took place then?
And then we went to grab that prescription.
That's when you went to the prescription?
Yes.
At Walgreens?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was ready?
Yeah.
Okay. How long do you think it took for that prescription to get ready?
They said 35 minutes.
Okay.
So we could have been, that could have all took 35 minutes or more.
Okay. And then what happened when you, did somebody go into the store or did you go through drive-through again?
Drive-through again.
And where are you sitting at this point?
The same. Well, I was sitting in the middle because she was the person that was wet, and so she had a pillow under her.
Got it. So she's sitting on a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
The baby is.
Yeah.
Summer. Okay. Where's that pillow now? Do you know?
The pillow now?
Yeah, the pillow.
I don't even know. I haven't been up to their house in like over a year. To be honest with you.
No, that's cool. So from there, where do you guys go?
From there, we go to Sonic.
Where?
Sonic.
Sonic. And what did you get at Sonic?
Slushies. Like a blueberry slushie.
Okay.
She got some purple one. Her mother got an orange one, and Summer got the same blueberry one.
So they bought a slushie at Sonic.
The one down, not by your Walmart, but the other one.
Okay. So now where's that Sonic at?
Fort Henry Drive.
Okay. Got it.
Before Walmart.
Okay. So from there, did they eat them there? Did you guys eat them there?
No, we ate them on the way to Price.
After Walmart.
Okay. So you.
And Kathy, that's, I have said the same thing. People who go, unless she had an appointment, which you don't normally have an appointment at the ER unless she had a doctor's, if there's doctor's offices there, she may have had an appointment. But if she went to the ER at 7:30 in the morning, it sounds like she was in a lot of pain. And if you're in a lot of pain, are you really going to want to go swimming, fishing, vape stores, restaurants, grocery stores? No, nobody's going to want to do that. That feels bad. And specifically can't walk. Bingo. If Summer was sitting on the side behind Candace, that makes sense. The pillow was on the floorboard behind the driver seat. There's a lot of deception. A lot of deception here, in my opinion. And where there is deception, that's lies. And so someone's not telling the truth.
Eat the slushes.
But this is the thing. If something happened to Summer at 110 Ben Hill, right? If there was an accident at 110 Ben Hill, why are they being deceptive about what happened that day with their trips? Why are they being deceptive? That makes me think, in my personal theory, is maybe something didn't happen at 110. Now, remember, TBI said Summer went missing early afternoon. This is outside the norm. Okay. If you believe the lady that worked for Ronnie for 27 years, I think Ronnie, may have been joking with her one day and he's like, yeah, tell those YouTubers, why did it take 4 hours for Candace to call? I don't think Ronnie would admit that to begin with. It would be very unprofessional, and he's not going to look any more unprofessional than what's already went on with, but if Summer went missing early afternoon, if something happened early afternoon, well, they weren't at home early afternoon. That is another thing, Ramona B. The CPS case bleeds into this case. So Summer was still in the bathing suit after leaving the horse pond, then changed into the track suit. Something happened in the truck on the way back home. And this is the thing. What is something that could have happened between like I said yesterday, we're talking about statistically speaking, the two things that happen to humans in general, specifically children, that we know that happened on June 15th. One, she went swimming, right? Statistically, 4 and under, Summer was 5, 4 and under though, it's the second leading cause of death of children 4 and under, drownings. It's like, I think, third for 5 to 15 or something like that. I showed it the other day. Second thing is car, being forgotten in a car, being left in a car, regardless of whether the windows were up or down, heat exhaustion. Now, H said that he stayed in the truck. Could Summer have been asleep? And H, Candace, went in the store. Possibly. But also, I also wonder, because if we believe Candace and she says Summer went to sleep a few minutes before they got home. And there is a photo, if it was taken that day, would, if it is truthful, would prove that she was asleep. She is clearly not deceased in that photo. Experts have said it. I volunteered for hospice and I've worked in a funeral home, and I can tell you she is alive in that photo. But anyway, what if she had just went to sleep a couple minutes before she got home? What if she was left in the car and Grandis and Candace got out, they was unloading the groceries, and she was forgotten in that car? And then they unload the groceries and all of that, and they do their thing, and that's when Jody Sue hears the scream. What if that happened? And that would be someone finding Summer in the car. That's a possibility as well, in my opinion. Do I think Summer looked normal in that milk jug video? I can tell you she was alive in that video, or in that photo, in my opinion. And I've seen a lot, like I've said, of people on their way out and their way out. And she is alive. Now, I will say that there's a couple things that in that photo that may be concerning, may not be. But I noticed how her fingers are dirty. Let me show you this. Hold on. Let me show you something here. And I wonder if they are not telling us all the truth. In Okay, let me show you this. All right. Here's another theory that I have here. These are just theories. All right. You see her hands? You see her hands here? Is this really after the watering hole? I don't think so. I mean, it could be. Look at those hands. Look at her thumbs. Look at her hands. What were they allegedly doing? We've all said, I don't think that planting ever happened. But did it? Could she have been we're not knowing this timeline, and was there planting happen? Because I can tell you, if you are playing in water, whether you are washing, yourself or not, the water dissolves. Or it's not the water dissolves, the dirt dissolves in the water where you're splashing around. It's going to come. I think the photo was taken before or after the water hole. Right? Look at their thumb. Look at their finger. Look at that. That it flipped it. Now, in my opinion, her hands look a little swollen, a little puffy. Right? Here it is. So if that photo, which we know was taken at 12:21, we have a timestamp. That photo of Summer in the video was taken at 12:21 p.m. on June 15th. Right? This had to have been taken. Hold on. Okay, this was taken at 3:09. Photo was taken at 3:09. No, I'll tell you the reason. One of the reasons she is alive in this photo. When her collar would be much more off, and her jaw would be open. Your mouth automatically opens when you pass. Every muscle in your body relaxes. There's nothing left of you. Remember, you're gone. Your jaw opens. And it's not easy to get it back. You can't whenever someone passes away, you don't just and it closes. It's not like that. Like you have to have, well, I'm not going to go into it, but we have ways in the funeral business to close the mouth. It's you don't just do that. Okay? So otherwise so she is, I mean, if I was, I really think she's alive here without in my opinion. But Justin, that's hours after. What's hours after? Justice, what's hours after? The jaw? No, it's not hours after. It's not hours after. No, it's not. It's not at all. It's instantaneously. There's nothing. No. If you are sitting up, your jaw specifically is going to be wide open. I don't think she's I think that possibly there could she I wonder about the I don't see any condensation on here, right? You see this? And that makes me wonder if she was left in that vehicle with that coat on. And they forgot about her while she was home. And that's when they may have heard a scream. No Sonic cups. I mean, I don't know. But to be fair about the Sonic cups, I don't see a cup holder per se. They could have, drank them before. They could be up front. I'm just wondering and starting at the picture with my head on the milk, ears look black. So a lot of people talk. Let me make myself smaller here. A lot of people talk about, they say that, there is some, it looks like there's, some bruising, or it could be, but to be fair, it's on this side too. And I see you. Do you have that photo where we were talking about we were talking the other day privately about Summer, when you can see the top of her head dark right here? Do you have that photo? Candy, I haven't what time did JSB hear the scream? I don't remember, to be honest with you. Why is her hair orange? It's not orange. I don't think it's orange. These are supposedly the last photos of Summer, right? And in that video, you can see her like going way out further, and that's um I've got so much, it's ridiculous. Um, a lot of people say this is the red toad. I don't know. I don't know if her parents would just. Oh, hold on one second. I see. Do you have that? All right, Brandy. Took what Hunter's words out of context? Do tell. What's your opinion on that? Just in no way she could have had both arms above her head sleeping like Candace claimed her right arm is wedged between the body and the milk. Yeah. It's Teresa, I understand. You emailed it. Thank you. Okay. Did you just email it? I see you. Um, did you just email it? I don't think her legs are swollen. Because I mean, personally, I don't think it is because I looked at it a lot of different directions. I personally don't. I think it's just the way the photo's taken, personally, but I could be wrong. I've got mail. Okay. Her hair looks longer in the water pics. Let me see. Did Brandy Gray ever hoodie is this side as if someone tried to prop her up? I'm looking for Brandy's message. I'm waiting for her. She said I took H's words out of context, and I would like to hear her opinion on that because as interpreting other human beings, the only person that can really tell us the context of what they are talking about would be H at the end of the day. So, but I would like to know her opinion on the context. Okay. I don't think I got it. I see you. Okay, there I got it. Okay. Okay. This was people saying like her hair is a little bit. I think it's okay. Look at Summer's hair here. You see how it's dark up here? Right. Did anyone ever notice that? I don't think I took it out of context. I think I was asking a question about exactly what he said. But never. I'm not going to. Yeah, this is it's definitely shorter here. But what I'm talking about here is you see how it's darker right here? Let me see if I can find that photo. of summer. Hold on 1 second. You notice that? But the milk video, she looks way younger. You think so? All right, let me show you this. This is 12/21, June 15th. This is 3:09 p.m. Supposed to be the same day. What's your thoughts? Yes, with her friend, she's very skinny there, and she looks almost in pain. I agree. You guys think so? Now, I don't know. To me, the hair might look a little longer, on the sides, but I don't know. To me, it's really close. But yeah, longer hair in the water. That's what I'm saying. It might look longer, but also to be fair, whenever your hair, is wetter, it can be, more down, right? Now, there supposedly is a text out there that Grandis told someone, I can't remember who, that she didn't, that Summer may have not felt good that day. I don't think it's the same day. Summer's cheeks appear to be sunburned at 12:21. Then at 3:09, very pale, no color in her cheeks at all. Now, to be fair, these are different, these are pictures that have been shared over and over and over, and they are enlarged and all of that. So, the colors and the resolutions and even who we're streaming through can be different as well. So, I have no idea. I'm not your friend. Who took the pic in the car? Grandis is alleged to take the picture in the car. Justin, her hair is not wet when she's in the water. That's a good point. It's not wet. You're right. It is not wet there. Good point. Let me look at the other pictures. Hold on. Okay, which these aren't very good. Here, this one, it's not wet. This is when she was just getting in the water and she was going out, right? look at the photo with her in the photo with the bow. What is it, Nice Marie? I have not seen them acknowledge the video, but that doesn't mean it's a pic of Summer in the water and the one with Don Wells holding her, please. I don't have the one. I don't have it. Guys, you have no idea how many files and pictures and documents and screenshots and or just all kinds of stuff on this case. I don't know exactly where it is, that one. I mean, if you email it to me, I'll show it. But I don't have it. Like, True Crime with Eve. Well, what if they took the youngest boy to all those places and everyone thought it was Summer? I think Summer was. I don't think she was gone before the 15th. I think she went missing the 15th, personally. The watering hole is definitely her on the 15th. Yeah, I think some people make it a little bit deeper. I mean, all things. Sorry, I've got my windows open to my neighbor. Oh, did you say Juno? When she was showing pictures of Summer couch, and she showed that was the house, and she said she was the last two pictures ever taken. The photo with Dawn holding Summer, that's a very strange photo. Yeah, I agree. Pretty sure TBI said there is proof of life on the 15th. Yes, there is proof of life on the 15th. Certainly is. All right, let me. Oh, do this. Maybe. There we go.
All the way to, what's it called?
Priceless.
Priceless. Okay, where's that at?
Ask her. I really don't do good with like.
Do you know where that's at, Miss? Okay.
It's the one that she goes to by the liquor store.
Okay.
It's down.
It's down before you hit her road.
It's like almost across from J&J Auto.
Okay. And then
No, that's one.
who goes into the store?
Her and her mother again.
Okay, so Candace and her mom go in the store again. And that left you and Summer in the car.
Yeah.
And what are you guys doing?
Just still watching TikToks, listening to music. I mean, just sitting there watching TikToks mainly.
Is she lethargic? Is she, do you notice anything unusual about her?
I didn't know. I just seen that her hair was cut. That was it.
Yeah, but when did you notice that, right?
That was like when we first saw her.
Right, when you first, right. I mean, but at that moment, are you noticing anything unusual going down?
Not really.
Okay, when you say not really, what does that mean?
Like, not in general, no.
And then what happens from there?
From there, I think they was in the store for an hour, maybe.
Okay, they were in the store for a long time.
Yeah, a little bit long, but not that long.
And what did they get?
So they got groceries for the house. I don't know what all they got. All I seen was what was beside of us, the milks.
Okay, and where did the orange soda come from?
The orange
Next
soda.
to Summer on the seat.
The orange soda. Orange soda. Orange soda. I'm really trying to think on that one. I forgot there was orange soda.
There is an orange soda on the seat in the TikTok video.
TikTok video.
Yeah, and the video that somebody took of her in the car.
There was also Skittles or something, some kind of candy.
And then what about the candy on the seat?
That was her candy. Because her grandma done bought it for her in the store.
Okay, so from there, now you have this. They come back to the car. Where's the milk come in?
The milk. Oh, when they had to put everything in the bed of the truck. You know, like the back of the truck.
Mhm.
I call it a truck bed because it is a truck bed.
Okay, but there's a picture of Summer leaning against the milk bottles.
Yeah, they put them there. Well, I think I put them there in the middle because there's no room on the other side of me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I put them there because she was sitting by the window, and then
Was she?
Okay, so not watch Allie's mouth. Okay, not only, you know, a hot car is possible, but you also have to understand heat strokes, overheating, you know. So you don't, I mean, let's look how this baby is dressed June 15th with a coat on. In the middle of June in Tennessee, who has a freaking coat on in June, the middle of June? It's certainly not natural. It's certainly not normal. Now, could she have already been sick? Could she, you know, like, when you have a fever, when you freeze, you start to freeze, that is your body preparing for your fever to spike. You get cold before your fever spikes. That's why you're hot and then you're cold and you're hot and you're cold. So, there's alleged a text out there that Granda said that Summer wasn't feeling good. But, in a car within an hour, I think it's an hour, it can raise 40 degrees. I think it's 40 degrees in an hour in a car. So let's say it's 75 degrees there, right? It can be, 115 degrees. In just a little bit with I had a heat stroke in 3rd grade. I was unconscious for 7 days. If they didn't get medical help, yes, she could. Wow. Dehydrated 40-pound child. 81 high, 70 low. So there's that as well.
Sleeping?
No, she wasn't even sleeping at the time.
Okay.
I just set them in the middle because if they were to fall and spill, it would be on me, and I don't feel like cleaning up no truck mess.
Okay. It looks like she's against the door, though, in that picture.
I wasn't there when that picture was took.
Oh, okay. When did they take that picture? Do you know?
I have no
I
idea.
believe the one with the milk jugs was sitting right here in front of my house because that's exactly how that baby was before they left.
Okay. Well, when you were in the car, where'd they put the milk?
Well, they gave it to me.
They gave it to you.
Not not to keep, but
to put it away.
Yeah.
And where did you put it?
I had it sitting on my lap until we got out the car.
Got it. And out here?
Yeah, out here.
Okay.
And she pulled up like your truck now, like where it's at right now.
Right.
But the opposite around.
Got it. So it's facing that way.
Yeah.
And you're getting out on this side. And where do you put the milk?
I set them in the middle because Summer had to. Did she even get out the car or did I? I thought she got out the car too. I don't remember that.
Okay. At some point, how did the milk bottles get on the other side of her? Do you know?
I have no idea then because she said that she was sleeping on the door. But when I got out the car, she wasn't even at the door. She was in the middle.
Was she sleeping on you?
Nah.
Was she asleep?
I didn't even see her sleep. I just got out the car because she wanted to talk to her.
Okay. Got it.
About that thing for that Friday, the water park.
Got it. But where's Summer?
She was still in the middle. I wasn't really paying attention to her, to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
I wasn't even paying attention at that point. I just wanted to go inside. Or just wanted my girl to come over a little bit. That's
Sure.
the whole point.
Is Summer hurt by this point, you think?
I don't
From the
think
water?
so. I mean, she could have been. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to her.
Then what happens when you get out of the car?
When I get out the car. When I get out the car, I go to the front because she had to hand me that other vape that she gave me.
Got it.
And then I showed Mom at that door.
Okay.
And that was it.
Okay. And this is when you saw Summer in the back. How did the milk get rearranged?
I have no idea.
See?
I mean, I could have said I'm there when I got out the car.
He has no idea how the milk got rearranged. Watch Allie here too.
I just wanted to go inside. Or just wanted my girl to come over a little bit. That's
Sure.
the whole point.
Is Summer hurt by this point, you think?
I don't
From the
think
water?
so. I mean, she could have been. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to her.
Then what happens when you get out of the car?
He says he wasn't paying that much attention to her. Now watch.
When I get out the car. When I get out the car, I go to the front because she had to hand me that other vape that she gave me.
Got it.
And then I showed Mom at that door.
Okay.
And that was it.
Okay. And this is when you saw Summer in the back. How did the milk get rearranged?
I have no idea.
See?
I mean, I could have said I'm there when I got out the car.
That's fine.
But I'm telling you now, I really don't remember anything but talking to her
Got
at
it.
that point.
No problem. What do you think, Miss Allison? How's that milk get rearranged?
I don't know. That milk was there when they pulled up like that.
Okay, but Hunter had the milk in the middle.
In the middle.
And so now the milk's on the other side of Summer. How does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't either, and that's why I'm asking.
I don't even remember how I got out the car. That's the funny part.
That's fine. That's
I
fine.
thought I was totally sitting in the middle the entire time, but I guess not.
Now, did Candace then, let's fast forward.
Mhm.
We'll come back to that later. There's going to be a lot of questions about that, though. I'll give you a heads up, okay? A lot of folks are going to ask about, well, how'd that happen, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you, a heads up on that, okay? Just so you know. Okay.
Got you.
Now, straight up though, from there now, you're here. When's the next time Candace contacts you?
Around 7:30 that day.
That night. And where were you at that time?
I was over at the.
Is now that yes, Don. Yes. And that's truthfully why I think they kept Hunter's phone longer, is because he probably, well, I mean, he wouldn't have turned it off and on probably several times. And also, if something did happen out at 110, I think that's a major reason why this hasn't been solved, maybe because of the service in the area and all that as well. What was I going to say? I was going to say something before that. Crap, I forgot what I was going to say. Hold on. Okay. The milk thing doesn't add up either.
Had the milk in the middle.
In the middle.
And so now the milk's on the other side of Summer. How does that happen?
Oh, yeah.
I don't either, and that's why I'm asking.
I don't even remember how I got out the car. That's the funny part.
That's fine. That's fine.
I thought I was totally sitting in the middle the entire time.
Oh, okay, I remember right up here.
I guess not.
Now, did Candace then? Let's fast forward. We'll come back to that later. There's going to be a lot of questions about that, though. I'll give you a heads up. Okay, a lot of folks are going to ask about, well, how'd that happen? Okay, yeah. So I'm just giving you, a heads up on that. Okay, just so you know. Okay.
Got you.
Now, straight up though, from there now, you're here. When's the next time Candace contacts you?
Around 7:30 that day.
All right. Candace contacts H about 7:30. Let me look at my timeline. All right. 6:26 is when the first 911 call goes in, right? 7:30, H says it was a short period of time after they dropped me off that they said that she is missing. H says that Candace contacts him that night to tell him 7:30 p.m. Okay. So 7:30, 6:26. Basically an hour after the first 911 call, she is getting in contact with H and Allie. Is that normal? I don't know. Would I be getting in contact with other people? I don't know within an hour. I really don't know. I'm, trying to put myself in their position. I don't know. Getting story straight. Maybe your best friend. It depends why. Watch Allie tell Hunter to say park. Not normal. Why call him? Coordinate story. No, you wouldn't. You would be busy talking to the police. Well, Candace wasn't very interested in talking to the police. She certainly wasn't interested in talking to the media for 13 days, which is extraordinarily abnormal. And I don't want to hear, oh, she's got anxiety. Oh, she's got that social anxiety. Those you get over real effing quick when it's your kid. You'd be too busy talking to the police. There was no need to contact H if he wasn't there whenever whatever happened. And that makes me wonder, did Allie show Chris the missed call or messages from Candace? Good question. Don't know. So let's back it up here. Let me show you this. So the call went in at 6:26, right? Let's go 4 hours back. 6:26, 5:26, 4:26, 3:26, 2:26. 4 hours would be 2:26, 2:30. What did they say was happening at around 2:30, 2:30? That would be, according to my timeline, dropping off Hunter. And then the milk jug photos. And right before that, they would have been at Priceless sitting in the car. Sitting in the car. Where's Melanie B's question? I don't see it. Does Priceless have cameras? Don, do you know if they have cameras? I can't remember. Yes, I think it's between 2:30. Was when they dropped them off. Yes, Canadian Cookie. I know that because Candace told someone that very close to her in confidence, but that was right before they took her for her lie detector test. Female officer got a hold of her, slung her against the car, and said, "What did you do with your daughter?" And then they took her down to the lie detector test. I don't think I would call 911 if my child was missing 10 minutes, especially. I think November, Texas lady, if I'm right. It's coming up real soon. Yes. She said she was in a cop car. I don't think she was blaming him. Yes, all stores have. even if they have cameras that will only show the car, they're not Summer, and yeah. Yeah, it's very odd that she has this, which we knew she talked to H multiple times after Summer went missing. Almost every day. The EP next to Priceless has cameras. Mhm. Hmm. Interesting. All right, that's
At night. And where were you at that time?
I was over at the park in Bristol with my girl.
Hanging out with your girlfriend. Okay, and what happened? Tell me about that.
So she called me saying that someone's missing.
Okay.
I thought she's pulling the leg because she's known to do that.
Okay, why would she mess around with her daughter missing though? What struck you about that?
I mean, it's just, we explain how she does when she gets drunk. She tends to, when she gets drunk and high at the same time.
Yep.
She tends to think that she loses the kids, but they're out front in the yard. That's what I was thinking.
Got it. So this is something that's happened in the past?
No, she hasn't went missing. It's just that she got high and drunk and forgot that someone was outside.
Got it. Straight up. What did she tell you?
She was like,
so H says that Candace has gotten high and drunk and forgot her daughter was outside. Which, like I said, at the watering hole that day, if the boys weren't there, Grandis is up, if she is there, and she's putting minutes on her phone. H is doing, he says he's talking to Candace, doing TikTok videos and talking about what's been going on in their life because they haven't seen each other in a while. Nobody's watching Summer. She's a 5-year-old girl without a life jacket. Terrible.
Summer's missing. So I was just like, okay, well, why don't you just go look outside? She says, I have been. She ain't there. I said, well, call Allie then, because I don't know if she's still pulling a leg. Because if I tell her to call Allie, she'll call me back. And then I'll call mom and be like, did she tell you this? Or was she just messing around?
Got it. So you call your mom?
Yeah, I call her on Facebook after she picks up.
And gave her a heads up that
Candace was going to call.
Candace going to call her and tell her that Summer's missing. Straight up. So at that point, does she call you again? Just that night?
Nah, she called me the next day saying that she's sitting in the police station.
She's sitting in the police station?
Yeah.
And what does she say?
All right. Let's talk. I want to talk about this. You're sitting at the police station. Your child is missing. You have a phone a friend, right? Phone a friend, right? Are you going to call a 15-year-old? Are you going to call a 15-year-old? Are you going to call a 15-year-old? He was with her that day. Did you see Allie's mouth say park? No. Right here. That's so weird for Candace to do that. Why is she calling a 15-year-old?
I mean, it's just, we explain how she does when she gets drunk. She tends to have time, but I guess not.
Now, did Candace then, let's fast forward. We'll come back to that later. There's going to be a lot of questions about that, though. I'll give you a heads up, okay? A lot of folks are going to ask about, well, how'd that happen, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you, a heads up on that, okay? Just so you know, okay?
Got you.
Now, straight up, though, from there now, you're here. When's the next time Candace contacts you?
Around 7:30 that day.
That night. And where were you at that time?
I was over at the park in Bristol with my girl.
Hanging out with your girlfriend. Okay, and what happened? Tell me about that.
So she called me saying that somewhere's missing.
Okay.
I thought she was pulling the leg because she's known to do that.
Okay, why would she mess around with her daughter missing, though? What struck you about that?
I mean, it's just, we explain how she does when she gets drunk. She tends to, when she gets drunk and high at the same time.
Yep.
She tends to think that she loses the kids, but they're out front in the yard. That's what I was thinking.
Got it. So this is something that's happened in the past?
No, she hasn't went missing. It's just that she got high and drunk and forgot that Summer was outside.
Got it. Straight up. What did she tell you?
She was like, Summer's missing. So I was just like, okay, well, why don't you just go look outside? She says, I have been. She ain't there. I said, well, call Allie. Because I don't know if I'll be back. Call mom and be like, did she tell you this? Or was she just messing around?
Got it. So you call your mom?
Yeah, I call her on Facebook after she picks up.
And gave her a heads up that
Candace was going to call.
Candace going to call her and tell her that Summer's missing. Straight up. So at that.
There's a behavior here that it looks weird. Watch Allie. Watch Allie right here. And watch, she looks at Grandma. I just now noticed this. Watch this.
She does when she gets drunk. She tends to, when she gets drunk and high at the same time.
Yep.
She tends to think that she loses the kids, but they're out front in the yard. That's what I was thinking.
Got it. So this is something that's happened in the past?
No, she hasn't went missing. It's just that she got high and drunk and forgot that Summer was outside.
Got it. Straight up. What did she tell you?
She was like, Summer's missing. So I was just like, okay, well, why don't you just go look outside? She says, I have been. She ain't there. I said, well, call Allie then, because I don't know if she's still pulling a leg. Because if I tell her to call Allie, she'll call me back.
What?
And then I'll call mom and be like, did she tell you this? Or was she just messing around?
Got it. So you call your mom?
Yeah, I call her on Facebook after she picks up.
And gave her a heads up that
Candace was gonna call.
Candace going to call her and tell her that Summer's missing. Straight up. So at that point, does she call you again? Just that night?
Nah, she called me the next day saying that she's sitting in the police station.
She's sitting in the police station?
Yeah.
And what does she say about that?
She says they want to do another polygraph test on me.
Another polygraph test?
Yeah.
How many polygraph tests did they do that you know of?
I just know 2.
2?
Yeah.
And how did she do on those polygraphs? Did she tell you?
She did not tell me. She just said she had to do that, and I just ignored her the rest of the time.
Okay.
Because they told me not to even get contact of her.
Got it. The police told you don't contact her.
No, the TBI told me.
TBI, don't contact her.
Well, it's some funny crap how they tell me. I'm not dissing them or nothing. I'm just saying how they tell me that I'm going to get my phone that Monday afternoon, and it's been almost 2 months straight now.
Okay.
Month. It's been a month.
Okay. Well, they're just trying to line up your story.
I understand that.
And that's important, right? I mean, you know that.
Yeah, it's just that.
For Summer.
I gave them all the proof that would line up the story.
I totally agree. Okay. But at the same time, the investigation's fluid.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
facts.
So I know where your heart is for Summer. And so as a result of that, they're going to hold on to that phone and they're going to connect all those dots. And that's the right thing to do, right? Would you agree with that? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that said now, she contacts you again, says she's at the police station, has to take another polygraph.
And then she shows up the next day.
The next day she shows up where?
Here, does she not?
Well, so you were interviewed by TBI on Wednesday. She came here Thursday.
So 2 days after or a day after?
2 days after.
And then what happened when
All right. So Candace shows up. Summer goes missing on Tuesday. Candace is there Thursday. And she's down at the police station talking to them. And Candace calls H while she is down there. To me, why are you so concerned with talking to H? If the day was going perfectly, nothing to worry about, right? Until Summer goes down the stairs, talking about Candace's and Dawn's claims on what happened. If everything was going smoothly, a normal day, why are you so concerned? Why did you break protocol? Why did you drive 25 minutes to go see H? Why are you contacting a minor within an hour of calling 911? Why are you contacting a minor when you are at the police station? Why? That's not normal.
she got here?
She got here. She was like telling me how she talked to them and was like, don't mention about the alcohol, but I didn't mention it.
Did she say what she told them?
No. But she started asking me. I just said, I just told them what happened on the timeline.
And what
I don't think Candace was that concerned about alcohol. I mean, when your daughter's missing compared, I mean, it's terrible that she's buying a minor alcohol, but there's levels, right? There's certain times where, when something's going on, police, they don't care about, you smoking weed or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's levels. And if Summer is missing, I mean, I don't think you're going to really be concerned about, him drinking a beer.
does she say?
She said, okay, that better be it. I said, he didn't even scare me.
Well, why would she try to scare you?
That's what I'm saying. Why was she trying to even ask questions about it?
What's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling is that she had something to do with it.
Yeah. Candace is saying, what did you tell them? What did you tell him? H just like told him the truth. H says he thinks she has something to do with
But
it.
then when all this happened, she just wanted the money in the end because I'm not gonna say names, but one of Red's friends, my girlfriend's mother's friends, was on Beach Creek just riding around, and she seen as soon as someone posted a $25,000 reward, she seen her car, Candace's car, zooming down the road to the Hawkins County Police Station.
So what? What does that mean?
I mean, she could have. She supposedly the next day they gave. It was on Facebook that it was a tip.
Got it.
I was gonna say, if that was my daughter, I would have everything to do with it. I wouldn't be sitting at the house trying to get money, trying to just collect dust. I'm gonna be sitting there doing everything in my power.
What do you think happened to Summer?
To be honest with you, her grandma was out of her mind. Like, you guys, them. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying they have to be in camera.
Understand?
But I'm saying you can ask them that her mother's usually grumpy, controlling, like a regular grandma, like her. I'm not trying to be mean, but you know how grandmas can be, like grumpy, controlling, trying to run everything.
What do you think should happen to the person that did this to Summer?
Person that did this,
Yeah.
they should be locked up for a very long time.
Why do you say that?
Because I was like, that's like my little sister. And I say that because she's just not the type of girl to go from the swing that's up there.
Okay. Is there any?
Now that comment right there, why did he say that? She's not the type of girl to go from that swing up there. Did you hear that? Who said she was at the swing? Hmm? Because remember, we heard allegedly the boys said the last time they saw her was at the swing. See how we're still learning?
Just collecting dust. I'm gonna be sitting there doing everything in my power.
What do you think happened to Summer?
To be honest with you, her grandma was out of her mind. Like, you guys, them. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying that to be in camera.
Understand?
But I'm saying you can ask them that her mother's usually grumpy, controlling, like a regular grandma, like her. I'm not trying to be mean. But you know how grandmas can be, like grumpy, controlling, trying to run everything.
What do you think should happen to the person that did this to Summer?
Person that did this,
Yeah.
they should be locked up for a very long time.
Why do you say that?
Because I was like, that's like my little sister. And I say that because she's just not the type of girl to go from the swing that's up there.
Okay.
Not the type of girl to go from the swing up there. I think Candace told him something Yeah, I think Don holds the key personally. He said she's like my little sister. It's a very odd statement. Very odd statement.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you think is important that you would want to tell, to get your side of the story out here?
I mean, I would say this, but I don't care if the camera's on.
This is the thing. If there is an accident and a cover up, it would have to be something, in my opinion, that they or one of them would get in trouble for, as in neglect, as in something like that. What that is, I don't know. Like, drowning, no life vest or anything, nobody watching her. You're not supposed to be swimming there. That would do it. A hot car, that would do it. Um, I don't know what else. I think it's very, very interesting how she goes missing the day after CPS. Dudley is fired the same day. Set in. Justin, they had open CPS case. Panic set in that they will take the kids. Why summer? Why summer? Had to be a reason. That would be one. That could be one. But why summer? It had to be something, if yes, if there was like S, abuse, if she had recently gotten into drugs, that would be a reason. And that is exactly right. 8 and under is very more seriously. But I thought that was very interesting. H saying she's not the type to leave from her swing. Now, you see, Jody Sue said, I think it was Jody Sue, she said that the boy said the last time they saw Summer, it was by her swing. It wasn't going downstairs. And then you have H saying the same thing about the swing. That kind of tells you something, in my opinion. If, two people are saying it, I don't think H and Jody Sue have ever spoken in their lives, right? To me, it's more of, let's say if someone, which I don't think anyone came up on that hill and got Summer at all, but like if I was making up a story, right? Like I believe personally Don and Candace are, they're lying about something. You would say, she was outside and then she wasn't. Not that she went downstairs and then, and you're outside. two adults are outside, and then you walk, 20 feet over and say, where's Summer? Oh, she went downstairs. And then you go downstairs and she's not there when you was just literally outside. That their story does not make sense. Don admitted that they were on the roof. Yes. I mean, that could even be something that, would get them in trouble.
I'm not.
No,
I mean,
camera's on.
I don't really care, to be honest with the camera. But that the second day she came, she went to the car either to grab something or something, but I grabbed her phone because I want to see if she had anything to hide. Like you said, I'm street smart. I'm very observant.
Yes, you are.
Hold on. What did he say the second day that she came?
What do you think should happen to the person that did this to Summer?
Backed
The
up
person that did is,
It's important that you would want to tell, to get your side of the story out here.
I mean, I would say this, but I don't care if the camera's on or not.
No,
I mean,
camera's on.
I don't really care, to be honest with the camera. But that the second day she came, she went to the car either to grab something or something, but I grabbed her phone because I want to see if she had anything to hide. Like you said, I'm street smart. I'm very observant.
Yes, you are.
Like,
the second day she came. The second day she came.
I would notice anything. Like, you wouldn't even have to tell me. I still notice the mic on you.
Right. No, I respect that.
It's just how I am. It's just, if you're going to leave something on the table, and I know that you probably got something to hide because of the way you're acting.
Yep.
And the way you call me, of course, I'm going to look through your phone.
Sure.
So she goes through her car, goes on the other side. I act like I'm grabbing my phone because they're just about the same.
Right. So you play it like.
So I put mine where hers was.
Got it.
And so I grabbed her phone. And see, I'm good with tech. I know where everything you can hide is. And so I went through her Google Photos, if that's what you want to call it.
Okay.
The gallery part.
Okay.
And so where you can delete things, they don't just delete, they go to your trash. I don't know if people know that or not, but they go to your trash.
Okay.
I know that because I mess around with tech every day.
Right. You need to go into IT, bro. Right there. Go ahead.
And so when I looked in there, I seen 13 messages between her and her drug. I'm gonna say drug dealer because he is. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to name his name, but yeah, all I seen was the first message before she started walking up to the mailbox to get up here is that it was done, and I was gonna read the next message of what she said, and she just started running up here, and I had literally just slid my phone in my pocket and just put hers there. It's like she asked me if I went through her phone. I said no. Why? Because I cleared it all out before she can get up here.
Did you tell TBI all this?
Yeah.
So she said, "Did you go through my phone?" He's alleging.
Yeah, I told him.
Okay. And they told you to keep it quiet on this piece?
They didn't tell me to really.
Did Grand Bun just say second time? Listen to that.
Did you tell TBI all this?
Yeah, I told him.
Okay. And they told you to keep it quiet?
Did you hear Grand Bun? Second time.
She just started running up here, and I had literally just slid my phone in my pocket and just put hers there. It's like she asked me if I went through her phone. I said no. Why? Because I cleared it all out before she can get up here.
Did you tell TBI all this?
Yeah, I told him.
Okay. And they told you to keep it quiet on this piece?
They didn't tell me to really keep anything quiet.
Okay.
It's just that I'm not allowed to go on like lives without her, like international television.
Right. Okay. Yeah, don't lie. Don't lie.
It's not my permission.
Good point, Lisa. Wasn't H on probation, and if he got caught drinking alcohol vape, he would get into trouble. Candace may have blackmailed him. TB, I talked to H 3 times, I think. Why wouldn't H tell it the first time? The second time, she came there again after the 17th of June. Grand Bun said second time as well. Learning a lot.
Yeah, no, straight up. You don't want that, Hunter, right? Because then everybody's going to put they're going to put a lot on you. You know what I mean? You don't want that. So, what was your gut feeling when you read that it's done?
My gut feeling was that either they had something to do with it.
Who's they?
Her.
Okay.
Or it was all of them together, like every single one of them in a family.
Where do you think Don was at work that day?
From what I've heard from the TBI, he was not at work.
No, I'm not talking about from TBI. What you know?
That's an interesting statement. From what I have heard from the TBI, he was not at work. H is telling us something there, if you believe him, right? You weren't at work, Don, all day. It's clear as freaking day, dude. Clear as freaking day. You were not at work. You don't call someone at 11:30 in the morning and say, "Oh, well, since y'all were gone, I don't want to be at the house alone." First of all, you wouldn't be at the house alone because according to your stories, the 3 boys was there, and you don't work late at 11:30 when you haven't even had lunch yet. He said, "What I've heard, according to TBI, Don was not at work." Should make you shake in your boots a little bit, Donnie. Main hypnosis. I just because of your name, thank you for being here. But I've even asked, put it out there. Don and Candace, you guys say you can't remember a lot of times. Maybe you should do hypnosis. I mean, it's obviously it doesn't mean, it's not going to be held up in court or anything, but I thought that would be an interesting idea.
But what I know is that I thought he was at work because I used to work with him. I ain't gonna lie, I used to work with him on houses.
Okay, and what did TBI tell you then at that point?
Well, I was like, I asked him if he was at work.
And what they say?
They said that the people they did not clarify that.
Okay, so they didn't verify it.
Yeah.
The people that was there did not verify. I think he's telling the truth too overall, Roxy. I really do. Because he didn't lie about the alcohol or anything else. And the only people that lied to Chris was Candace about the alcohol and everything. Justin, why did you find it odd statement when H said she's like my little sister? I didn't say that was odd. I didn't say it was odd. What I think is odd is that another child that is not Summer's age is with Summer and Summer's mother whenever, and they're doing a fun activity like swimming, and Summer's siblings aren't with them. But I don't think it's, I mean, I do think H considered Summer very much like a little sister. I think he is a victim in this as well. But that's what I think that's odd. I don't think it's odd that he said she's like my little sister. I don't think that's odd whatsoever. I just think it's odd the scenario of that. 1 second. This video was done before Chris talked to Candace. Yes, it was done before Chris talked to Candace. Candace had no idea what, I guess, what the interview, what he said, what they said in the interview. So she, and we know that she still lied about the alcohol. She said, and even if my mom was here, she would tell you that that alcohol was not for him. How did Candace see H interview before? She didn't. He didn't. She didn't see the interview before. I don't know daily. I remember first hearing this come out in the news. They said mother, grandmother, and a 15-year-old friend of the family they hadn't seen in a year. I thought that was weird. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's strange how Candace had not seen this kid in a long time. If someone went out there and found some. I don't it might have, I don't know if it was months, but it was a minute later for sure. All right.
Okay, so it doesn't mean he wasn't. They just didn't verify it, right? Potentially.
No, they called up and asked to see if he was.
Why would they want to hurt Summer?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, I really don't, because Summer doesn't really do nothing but just like mess around like I do. I like to mess around with people.
Okay. Any other things you can think of?
Not really.
Have I treated it with respect?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not an old man.
All right. Still learning from this video over 2 years later. Justin, see my comment above. But she referenced that CM and H said he didn't do TikToks on her interview. Good point. That's a good point. Good point. I'll have to find that out about a. Yeah, I agree, Don. I agree. I think it was too. I think it was too. So, yeah, that's very, very interesting. Now, I want to thank Chris from the interview room for letting us review these videos tremendously. Thank you so much. And what else? What else? What else? What else? I want to thank Smiley from Smiley's World and TikTok, the TC guy at the TC guy. Thank you all so very much. We are still learning. We're going to review a lot more coming up, and it's amazing going back what we know now and what we can hear. Just some very interesting things that really throws a big wrench in their story, their timeline, who was where at what time, uh, a lot, to say the least. Mohawk, maybe, maybe. Thank you, Sandy, Sonia, Wink at Me, adoptionscams.com. Thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate you tremendously. Let's hope that soon, let's hope that their summer is found tomorrow, tonight. And let's hope and pray that there is an arrest shortly, in short order after that. Let's pray. That's all we can do. But at the very least, like I've said, I don't see how, in my mind, after just this one live. SL, thank you so much for gifting a membership, my dear. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Truly do. Means a lot to me. And thank you to the mods. I know it's been a long live. Thank you to the members. I appreciate it. Thank you again, SL. Thank you. It's very kind. To the members who make this possible and those who donate, I appreciate you all tremendously. And thank you all for being here in general. We'll be here tomorrow. We're not gonna stop until summer has justice. I know a lot of people's like, oh, you can't get past Summer Wells and stuff, and you're right. I can't, and I'm not going to. Karen, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate your support. It means a lot tremendously. And I can't because I feel like everyone failed summer. Nobody's seen it through. I do believe TBI will see it through, and law enforcement. There's a lot of pressure on them. And as long as the public has an interest, then it's not going to go cold. So there's that. I do believe we're getting a lot closer. I do believe. I think the wheels, I think Dawn and Candace probably are looking over their shoulder a lot as far as law enforcement goes. I don't see how you couldn't be after The sheriff of Hawkins County says that the parents of Summer Moon Utah Wells, who went missing June 15th, 2021, says they are not cooperating in the investigation of their daughter. Plant Diva, thank you for renewing your membership. I appreciate it. I don't see how. Looking. Hold on. I did. Out of here. I don't see how someone says this is a normal way to live for a child. I don't see how. That is not a messy room that kids got out all their toys and all it does is picked up. Kids make messes. You pick them up. That is filth. That is what that is. That is filth. That is unhealthy and that is inhumane. For those of us that have dogs at home, I can guarantee you most of our dog beds are cleaner than that, let alone our children's. I don't see how I born and raised and proud to be an Appalachian, born and bred through and through. We, you know, there's a lot of poverty in Appalachia. We, in a lot of ways, are a forgotten people. And there is a lot of poverty. But poverty does not equal filthy. Poverty does not equal neglect. Poverty does not equal this. I was raised poor. But usually people in poverty take care of what the little bit that they do have, they take really good care of it. This is neglect. And it's really that simple. This is a homemade bed that has a futon mattress, no pillows, no sheets on any bed, food, rats, roaches, and every bug and rodent in that house. With rodents and bugs and all of this comes unhealthiness, uncleanliness, unsanitary conditions. Roaches can affect your respiration. They create an allergy. just the dirt and the mold in general. And when you love your children and love anyone, you take care of them. It doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean life doesn't happen. It doesn't mean things don't get out of order. But there is a difference in things getting messy, maybe even a little dirty, but it doesn't affect your health. This is something that this family, Candace in particular, has had multiple chances. Some people shouldn't be parents. They just shouldn't. They may never want to be parents. They may not have the mental capacity, the physical capacity, or just simply don't care. And I believe truly Candace is one of them. I think on top of what Candace's mental capacity or physical capacity, there was addiction on top of it that truly set the fire to what you see in this photo. Why does Candace wear men's shoes? Well, there's photos of the kids wearing legit men's clothing and shoes. And I feel terrible that I think that the kids got up and picked up whatever clothes was in the floor and they could put on, and it literally breaks my heart that in every school, public school, that there are a lot of Don and Candace type kids. And I talked to someone that their kids rode the bus with the Wells children. And they had a tough time for the way that they dressed, that had no fault bearing of their own. They would come to school with, adult plaid shirts on and, just random. It's just really sad. And at the very least, she could have done much better. they pretty much raise themselves, in my opinion. And, you know, people's like, well, that doesn't mean they weren't happy kids. It doesn't mean they didn't have good times. It doesn't mean that they didn't love their parents. Of course, they still love them. That's all they knew. This, when you're born into it, that's all you know. You know, they're getting picked on the bus and at school when that's all they knew. That is the life that they knew. But it shouldn't have been. It should have been better for them and every child in America, my opinion, the world. It should have been better. And that's exactly right, JD. From what we have heard, thank God, now that these kids know what a clean bed at night is, what a real mattress is, what a pillow to lay down, clean, fresh, you know, your mom not passed out with, an ash off her cigarette boiling in her shirt and passed out parents and fighting. Don coming home from hookers and, Candace screaming at him, back and forth. They don't have to deal with that anymore. They are safe. Thank the Lord. Why would they? At the very least, I do believe Summer saved her brothers. At the very least, I believe that. Hopefully, Summer is out there somewhere, alive and okay. Okay. But people know you don't just disappear. Someone knows something. At least someone's know something. And particularly if you are a person of faith, believe in God, an accident happened. You did something bad. You flipped out something. I don't know. It's best to pay for your sins now in this life than it is the next. That I can promise. That I can promise. it may be not so, it's not going to be easy in this life either. I'm not saying that, but it is better here and now than eternity somewhere else. Thank you, Justin, for our talk tonight. I'm waiting on my face care video. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate you. Email me. I'll help you with anything. You know, I hope so, Don. I really hope so. I pray. Because I know as creators and as you guys out there that have followed this case from the beginning, it's a lot, this case. And it is time. It is time. So God bless each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You could have chosen to be anywhere, but you chose to be here. And I'm thankful for each of you, truly. Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, I appreciate your opinion. God bless each, every single one of you. Good night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing. Bye-bye.